All right, good deal, man. We got that fire today. We got a special episode, a special serial entrepreneur here with us today, and she wears many hats. Toni Gilliard is here. Man, I'm telling you, she's a lawyer. She's in the real estate business, and oh yeah, she's a force to be reckoned with in the adult beverage business as well. We're gonna talk about that a little bit as well. Toni, welcome to the room.
Thank you for having me.
For sure. It is an honor. I followed you a little bit here as far as on Facebook. You've been making some noise, and I appreciate you taking up my feed when I'm trying to scroll down to see some family members and everything like that. But,
the algorithms.
That algorithm, man, you got it going on for sure. I want to start by just saying for you to talk about your typical day. The typical day of Toni Gilliard, and we'll get into some of the details of what you do.
Okay.
All right. Tell me about your typical day.
Typical day. I'm an early riser, and I go to bed early. So people don't believe me when I say I'm in bed by 10 and lights are out. I go to bed early, and I wake up early around 6-ish, sometimes 5:30, and I'm more of a checking my email. That's the quiet time. So I always do my motivation, or I'll listen to gospel.
Yeah.
And then I check my emails, and I have my coffee, and I sit outside before the kids get up. And I have my quiet time. And then once my daughter gets up for school, then we're rocking and rolling. My son was in boarding school this year, so he wasn't a part of that narrative for the last year. But normally I'm mostly trying to get him out the door and chop. And then by 8 o'clock, everybody's out the house. And I'm on the phone making calls, whether it's real estate or calls for Tipsy Lady, trying to get distribution deals. A lot of the media stuff, the PR firm that I hired, they weren't even a part of the narrative then. So it was more grassroots, me making calls and emails and that kind of thing. So it varies. Anything between 8 and 10, it can vary. On a typical day, I'm usually either behind the computer or in my car driving to a listing appointment.
So it's important for you to get into bed.
It's important for me to get into bed.
Man, for sure. The confusing things that go on in the day keep us all tied up. So I certainly can relate to that. Trying to get into bed because trying to get some sleep and because what's to come as far as the day goes and so forth here. Kind of balancing the different businesses. Do you feel that one suffers over the other?
That's life. People, like to say, you can do everything, and I'm like, nah, you can't. Sometimes some things are going to fall by the wayside. I'm a hell of a businesswoman. I color code everything on my calendar. So I have a calendar and everything, and everybody has a color. So that keeps me on task and organized. And some people, they don't like calendars, but I'm a big color coded calendar kind of gal. So, it pretty much varies.
I'm a calendar person. I'm trying to be more organized and plan my day and kind of know what's coming. So over the past year, I've been getting a little bit better than that. And consistent. I can't say I'm very consistent. I have my gaps to where I just got to get back on track, but maybe that's something you can help me with. I need to see your color calendar and so forth, for sure. Philanthropy efforts. I know you're keen on giving back. From doing some of my research, I believe maybe Boys Camp.
It's not boys camp, so I'll just do nonprofits. I'll donate, send money to Yes Carolina. It has a new name now. So that's one I chose to strategically align because they have youth entrepreneurship programs and this Shark Tank type of thing they're supposed to be doing with the high school students.
I love it.
Where
man.
I can be a judge. So waiting to hear back from them on the judging side. But anything that's driven for youth or women in business, happy to give my time and my capital for those things.
For sure. That's important, because you never know when the next Toni's coming, and the inspiration that you're providing and so forth. I want to dig deeper just a little bit. Tell me about Toni Gilliard, the things that we don't know. I mean, I see all the surface stuff, with you starting your business. I guess one of the reasons why I'm asking is, we're doing some research. You got a lawyer background, right? You're in real estate, you're starting your own business, the drive is there, the extrovert is there. I would imagine you're a big people person. First thing came in my mind was the fact that this lady is gonna be hell to deal with, and she don't take no mess. Are you from up north?
I am a New Yorker.
You from up
I am
north?
a
You're a
native
New Yorker. You're a
Yorker.
lawyer. You're an extrovert. I mean, that's a lot to deal with for
I'm
a
more of an
Southerner.
introvert. I think I'm like the
What?
most introverted extrovert you'll ever meet.
Like the ammo. I think the ambivert
It's the
or something
weirdest
like that.
thing. Yeah.
I don't believe it, but we gonna see.
Yeah. And then I don't like taking pictures with people like, you don't like the camera? No, I'm super shy.
Toni.
Right. I'm good talking. I'm chatty patty.
But you don't like
when
to
it
take
comes to
pictures?
pictures, no, I don't like to take pictures. It's like torture. It's like I get like the butterflies and all the things every time someone's like, let's take a picture.
I see
So
her
half
all
my
over
life
the
is never
web.
documented. So people always like, why do you only post your feet when you're on vacation? I'm like, so you can see it from my perspective.
You know, I am seeing
So
a
you
lot of
always
feet
see my
picture now, so I'm gonna
toes.
think of that. I'm gonna think of that. You know,
You
by the
always see-
pool,
Yeah, I'm always
you
by
know,
the water.
legs and
my
toes.
feet. Mhm.
Talking
Yeah.
about, you know, navigating through challenges. I would imagine, you know, running multiple businesses and what's your go-to on just kind of navigating through challenges? Or you're just kind of a step back person and kind of absorb and just kind of plan on how you're going to go at it. I mean, you're somewhat of a private person, I think, is what I'm getting from you. I would imagine that you have a good bit of challenges, you know, with operating multiple businesses. I mean, how do you deal with it? How do you navigate through that?
I grew up poor and my mom hustled. So it's a part of my fabric and DNA is just get it done, right? Versus complaining. I'm a problem solver, right? And some things can't be fixed, which some things you just have to make peace with. So for me, it's always figure out how to do the thing as a problem solver. And I think that comes from most of the legal background and trying to help clients navigate through the legal system to say, okay, there's a way, here's your options, there's multiple solutions to the problem. We just have to figure out which one works good for the audience, meaning the judge or who your audience is.
And I would imagine having the lawyer background helps you tremendously as far as in what you do. You know, as far as with real estate, let me find out you just be telling the closure, you know, we need to do this and that, and you be stepping on his toes and so forth.
No, they know I'm an attorney, so they know, like, if you're not doing your job, I'm going to tell you, you're not doing your job, because things could run efficiently with communication. So I think I'm an over communicator. And I problem solve like a physician. I'm like, I should have been a doctor, so I treat the whole patient, right?
Now, we're not going to take on being a doctor, are we, too?
Oh, hell no. I am tired. But, I believe with real estate, listening to the client and finding what the real needs are, and then working it backward. Like, what is a real issue? What is a real need? And then work backwards, because sometimes it's not about money. The client's not always trying to get the most for the property. It may be other stuff going on.
Okay. The principles of the business and how they intertwine. Let's talk about marketing for a minute. I believe you got some heavyweights as far as behind you, as far as helping you.
I've done all this by myself. I just brought those people in the last month. So
I'm trying to tell you,
I've done
man.
all my real estate, all me. Tipsy Lady, all me. I just brought them in because I'm overwhelmed and stressed, and I'm like, okay, I need somebody else to kind of take the wheel,
help and take you to the next level
as I grow, to see who I want to strategically align with as I grow, because I know I can't continue to do it all. I'll burn out.
From a marketing standpoint, you know, just speaking of your real estate, because you've been doing that how long?
Real estate since 2017. So
okay, so about 5 years or so.
Yeah, about 5 years.
Real estate. How do you make yourself different with all the realtors that are available to clients, trying to sell a home, trying to be on social media? Are you just out and about? You do a little bit of everything?
Not out and about. I'm more out and about with Tipsy Lady, which is why I'm like exhausted, right? Because it's a lot of energy, and then I got to go back and then Palo Santo and Sage and Salt Bath after being around a bunch of people. So with real estate, it's just being organic, educating the public about various needs, and then showing them a little bit of my world. So I think that's what helps. So if I'm doing deals abroad or negotiating contracts in Belize, inviting them into that space. And then also having the law background. People come to me if I'm doing a probate sale or a divorce sale. They know that I'm familiar with the system and the different terms. So that helps. But most importantly, it's luxury service at every price point. And I think I was the first person of color to market themselves as a luxury agent here in Charleston.
That's admirable. Definitely. You're doing a lot, and I don't want to bounce back and forth as far as between real estate and Tipsy Lady, but both of them are part of you in the direction that you're going. You know, by being a lawyer, by being an introvert type person, I don't know if you want to share with me, but ultimately, what do you want to do? You know, I'm not saying you got to let one of them go, but, you know, when you're talking 5 to 10 years from now, what are the plans for Toni Gilliard?
So the plans are to continue to grow Tipsy Lady. Hopefully in 5 years, I'll have 100 million plus valuation on Tipsy Lady.
Yes.
I'll make a decision at that point if it makes sense to sell it and keep equity, because I'm a big equity person, that my legacy continues to reap the benefits of what I'm sowing now. And then using that capital to build development deals in abroad as well as different places in the United States, as far as real development deals for affordable housing. So that is what I would like to see myself doing. So I'll still have my hand in real estate, but from a development perspective.
Now, Tipsy Lady start was more of, it's a Caribbean feel.
It is.
It's the history behind that.
It's a Caribbean inspired canned cocktail line. Tipsy Lady has nothing to do with being slightly drunk, although it'll get you buzzed at 12% alcohol volume. But it's about tipping the scales in the alcohol industry as it relates to women and ownership. More specific, women of color in ownership. We're a lot of consumers of a lot of things, but when it comes to ownership, you don't really see a lot of us in the space. You'll see a lot of celebrities now, like in the wine, mostly wine, you know, males in the spirit space. But when it comes to Black women or just women of color in general, we don't occupy a lot of the space. When I have these meetings now, I'm usually the only person of color.
Okay.
I've yet to go in a room or meeting and there was somebody else that looked like a Black woman at the table.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for your representation. Tipsy Lady, does that get you in trouble sometime? Just the product that you sell?
No, when they hear the brand story and they know the play on the words. I've had a couple of people be snarky about it, like, oh, you promoting over drinking. I'm like, it ain't say drunk up lady. It said Tipsy Lady.
Just there and then come on back.
But then once they hear the brand story, then they get it because it pulls the consumer in, because it's a fun word. You think of tipsy and then males drink it. A lot of men, they become tipsy ladies. So it's cute.
Okay, so I can give them a case to one of my homeboys.
You're going to become a tipsy lady once you have the rum punch at least.
Tipsy man, tipsy male, and so forth.
No, tipsy lady.
Okay. We got to change it around now if I get my homeboys involved.
Just don't hashtag it.
Yeah, there you go.
Mess up the algorithms, man. Like, what's really going on?
What's the best tools for networking now?
I think being organic, being yourself, because nobody does it better. So that's the tip for me. Be yourself. Nobody does it better.
That's the tip for you. And what I'm getting for you is authentic, definitely, because you're comfortable in your own skin. I definitely can sense that. And that's one of the things that I think that I struggle with starting a podcast, because starting a podcast, ideally, you want to look at the particular people that's doing it before you. You look at some of the analysts, you look at some of the things that they're doing. But I had to realize that, man, I just got to be me. It's hard. I mean, I don't speak, very clearly sometimes. I'm country, but I enjoy being me. So I admire when I see, especially women of color, Black men as well, being authentic and comfortable who they are. Doesn't mean they need to be unprofessional or anything like that.
No, just your gift will make room for you.
That's it. Your gift definitely will make room for you, for sure. So give me some lessons from all your career hats. When we talk about organization, I know you touched base on that a little bit, with the calendar, prioritizing. But there's a lot of people out there, I would imagine, trying to do what you're trying to do. And it's not easy, but maybe you can kind of instruct or give them some lessons on some things that are really, really helping you stay the course.
There's a saying where people are like, be quiet, don't tell people about your business, because you get this very they think you got OBI on you. But for me, it's tell people your business. Make your business their business.
That's it.
And ask for help. So for me, I was very transparent. I'm like, this is not real estate and this is not law. But with alcohol, it's still law because there's regulations and I can handle all of those things. Mm-hmm. But when it came to how do I make this a thing and formulating, I use Google. I reached out to so many people to help me along the journey. Some people were paid, some people weren't. Mm-hmm. And when formulators didn't get right, I made, strangers. A lot of strangers helped me with my business. Because I was straight in LinkedIn and, hey, I noticed you have a cocktail company and you're doing consulting or you're doing mentorship. Is there a fee? And it was, one group of women from Peru. Mm-hmm. They were like, we would love to help. We love the concept. And you don't have to pay us a dime.
All right. And, that's the saying as far as, the people that are really going to help you get to the next level, a lot of times strangers.
And mostly strangers have helped me.
Versus the people that are in your immediate circle of family. And I'm not saying nothing against, family members and close friends, but usually those people, for whatever reason, the people that you can count on, the people you meet newly, daily and so forth. The importance of timing, especially with Tipsy Lady. I mean, I don't know if there's a certain time that you thought like this is the right time to, start my adult alcohol beverage. I mean, it just come one night or you just said, hey.
Well, I've been making it for years for my family and they always request it. And then I was like, I can commercialize this because I know I'm not the only one that's looking for a rum punch on the shelf.
So you was a bootleg bartender kind of for your...
Well, legally, no.
Oh, okay.
No, it was just family, for years, over a decade. And I went to Barbados in 2018 for Christmas and was touring the rum factories. And literally it was spirit led. It was use the gift that I've given you. Like I literally felt chills like, okay, this is what you complaining about this. I've blessed you with all these things. And it was clear. It ain't law and ain't real estate.
Right.
It's a celebration of heritage and flavor.
Right.
And less about an appropriation of your culture. Because you got all these other folks who own things where they appropriate names, Caribbean this. Even with Gullah Geechee culture, you'll see people who aren't Gullah Geechee who are appropriating and making a shitload of money off of the terms that are ours. So for me, it was about rum was founded in Barbados. There's no coincidence that I'm standing on this soil. That's a gold mine.
Right.
Do something with it. And bless other people and tell the story because it needs to be told. But in doing so, as long as you stay true to culture, true to heritage, true to authenticity, I'm going to bless you tenfold. But if at any point you stray and whitewash it, I'm going to take it all from you. So it was a very clear assignment.
For sure. That's
and anytime I waver, things get trouble in the water.
Oh, I tell you, he would get you back on course one.
Trouble in the water. And I'm like, why am I meeting these roadblocks? And then I'll have to sit back and pause. And I always go to the sea. So when I'm having trouble, I say, when the last time you been to the beach? I go every Friday or Saturday. And if I hadn't been and I'm having trouble in the water, as I say, I'll go to the beach and I'll just be still. And then the message is very clear.
That's it.
So it's all spirit led. It ain't me. Awesome. It's just me being used as a vessel through a cocktail company, which is interesting, but it's spirit led.
Yeah. So when it came to you and, this idea of, starting Tipsy Lady and so forth, who was that person you went to? A lot of times we bounce things off of people and you may not have had that particular person, but who was that person you went to and you said, hey, this is kind of what I want to do. I don't really know how I'm going to do it yet. But
my mom and my sister. So my sister would go.
What did they say?
So New York, we have this thing called nutcrackers where they bootleg these drinks, concoctions, and they sell them in these little quarter water bottles.
Yeah.
So New York is a thing where you sell nutcrackers. So she had gone to New York and I put them in those same bottles and give them the family cookouts. And she called and she was like, girl, You not bugging. When you said you were going to sell this stuff, there's somebody out here who's also hustling like nutcrackers, like a rum punch, but it ain't as good as yours.
Oh, she got that confidence then.
So she called and she, with the FaceTime me or whatever, she's like, girl, you not tripping.
I love it.
And so I was like, it's already been done. I incorporated the name. I already started. So when I got back to the States that January 2019, I already started the trademarks and all of that stuff. So it was a month later, I was rocking and rolling.
What about the naysayers?
I don't focus on them.
I know it's got to be some people like, why she doing that? You in real estate. I mean, alcohol, beverage, and so forth. I mean, how did you get past it? I mean, I already see how you got past it. I really don't
focus on, like we say, focus on your head. I don't give it energy or space.
You do things on your own terms, don't you?
Yes. I don't even entertain it. So if the conversation's going anywhere left, I block it and move on, move past it. There's no need for me to engage with you because it's not my assignment to convince you about what spirit gave me. That's my gift. It's reserved for me. And it's not for me to convince you to join the party, to get on my team. That's not my baby to spank.
Right. I mean, you said enough right there. It is no need to convince a person that doesn't understand. It wasn't given to them. Being a mom, I mean, that's a totally different industry, especially the things that you're trying to do. I'm telling you. Being a mom, single mom.
Yes, I'm a single mom.
Totally different industry with operating these multiple businesses. How has that been? I mean, because that's important. That's the most important thing. How has that been for you?
It's a sacrifice. So to put my son in boarding school, at military boarding school, that tuition out of pocket, that was tipsy lady money. So I'm like, don't fuck this up, kid. Because you're taking money from tipsy lady and she's a whole wife. So it's a sacrifice, but it's worth it. And for me, my kids are my greatest investment.
Right.
And they participate in the process. So, they in the kitchen with me when I'm just coming up with the tipsy lady and mixing things and shipping, have them participate in the process.
So you still, shipping and labeling?
So now it's on the market. So not. Okay. So in the beginning when I was having samples and pitching to distributors, etc., and literally washing cans and wrapping labels, old school, and shipping them, they were participating in the process. Like, come on up here. Roll these.
You want to reap the benefits, you better get on up here and do something.
Like, well, we don't even want to own no cocktail company, so we don't want to help you. And I'm like, that's all right. We're going to bless somebody else's child who wants to profit from it.
I know that's right.
Yeah, but they participate in the process. Even like a little TT of like, taste this, how does it taste? Taste the samples. They're like, oh, they're underage. I'm like, it's just a little taste. Always says kid tested, mother approved. I'm like, the kids
just a little taste, just a little bit, just that's it. And they're gonna do nothing.
It was no different from blackberry brandy. My mom used to rub on my gums when I was a teen.
Oh, and you talk about what my mom used to do to me. I can't even talk about what she used to do to me.
So I'm like, it's legal.
It's putting a little NyQuil on your tongue, that you get a little sleep as a baby.
No,
I don't know if that's legal, but
I'm sure it's not.
Okay. I ain't saying nobody did that in my house on there like that, but
some Benadryl.
Some Benadryl or something. Quit screaming. Okay. I don't mind. We brought up rough.
Take a nap.
We brought up rough, man. So, what do you do for fun? I mean, so you got to unwind. I mean, I know you like going to the beach and so forth. I mean, your whole business is centered around happy hour anyway.
Oh, so, right. It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Hey, so I know Tipsy Lady is a part of that. Who's engaging with you? I mean, where are you going? I mean, what's your ideals like, man? We celebrate.
I'm not a big hangout person. I'm a big traveler. I'm a globetrotter. So, for me, leaving the U.S. every 3 months before COVID was a thing. Like, that's my happy space. So, and then I also get messages and I get to see culture and see how other people live. And it also humbles me, but also inspires me. So that is my muse. I like to travel.
I like
to warmer places. I don't like the cold.
Well, my son and daughter, as much traveling as they do, try to just make it a vacation out of that with travel ball. Whoever invented travel ball is the devil, man, because God almighty, they just take over your life. But, you know, it's what we live for. So I'm definitely enjoying this. Expansion, you know, and expansion. So we talked about Tipsy Lady a little bit. And I'm not taking away from the real estate. I would imagine, you know, that's the bread and the butter as well, to make this ship continue to float. From an expansion standpoint, as far as real estate, I mean, how about if that kind of pops off? I mean, that gets to the next level and so forth. I mean,
I still sell. I'm closing tomorrow.
Okay.
So I still sell property. I've always started out as a listing agent because I knew I liked to travel and my time is valuable. So instead of me doing buyers all the time where I'm meeting you at properties or driving you around for hours on end,
right.
I can do 5 or 10 listings at one time and not have to be here.
Okay.
And it's valuing my time.
For sure. What are you doing after the podcast? I mean, what's going on?
After the podcast, I'm going to bed. I'm tired.
What?
I'm so tired. I'm supposed to go.
Lord, she had like an old lady.
Right? On a Sunday.
On
I
a Sunday.
was supposed to go on the boat with the girls for one of the girls, my girlfriend's birthday. So they sent a text last night saying the weather, we're not going to do the boat. So they want to go back downtown Charleston and hang out. And I'm like, no, because I was doing that last night. I'm tired.
You got something coming up. Are you preparing like a gala or something or some kind?
So I had my launch party in April. So I'm working on a Caribbean nights party. So I haven't released a date yet.
Haven't released a date yet?
Yeah. So it'll be this summer. It'll be Caribbean nights with Caribbean dancers, soca dancers, and DJ who's from Jamaica who did my launch party. And it'll be poolside. Should be a good time. So I always believe in bringing culture in anything I do. So it's always entertainment. So you'll see all the feathers and the fetes and the soca. Yeah, it's always like a big deal. It's like carnival. And it's carnival season.
It is. Yeah. You know, now that we're kind of coming out of the pandemic a little bit, you know, we can get more involved in a lot of things that we couldn't before. All right. So we got a recurring question as far as on the roll. It revolves around telling me a time to where you had a valid excuse to quit, to maybe stop Tipsy Lady. But you did it anyway. You pushed through. You made a decision knowing that things could change. And it yielded you good results. It yielded you positive results. What was that time?
That was in the beginning. People weren't necessarily in cans. And I was like, nah, I got to be in a can.
Why?
Portability. I like to golf and go on the boat. I needed something that was portable. I needed something that was eco-friendly. It had to be all natural, organic, kosher ingredients. So for me, in the beginning, there was a can shortage when I first started. And the can size I'm in, which is a smaller 200 ml, which is basically 6.8 ounces, nobody was really doing things in a can. So you had canned wine, which people kind of had a negative connotation with canned wine, that it was gross and whatever. And I'm like, this is different. And you had the other salsa-based products on the market, which was kind of new. And for me, it was, well, 1, those cans aren't available, or 2, you know, and I don't want that metallic-y taste, you know, with it sitting in the can. And then also the ABV being so high. Normally you'll see 4 and 5%. Anything under 7 to get me in the grocery space. So it was reformulating to see if I can place myself in those, you know, the grocery stores, the big box. And I was like, that's not the assignment. It'll figure itself out. And it did. So now everybody's going to can. So yeah, 3 years ago, it wasn't a thing. And now everybody's in the can. And then the can shortage thing worked itself out. And then the next production I'm supposed to run on the 1st of July, that may be delayed because now there's a can shortage again.
Is there?
And then there's a glass shortage. So it's like, okay, I can put it in a bottle. Do I go plastic? So it's going to always be challenges, but mutability is key, but also knowing your demographic and your market. For me, it's spirit led. Do what you were told to do. And I worked this up. And then when COVID hit, this is like a $38 billion industry. The canned cocktails line is a $38.1 billion industry.
Wow.
And Yeah, 1 billion of that won't hurt nobody. That's all I ask.
No, that's right. So where are you at right now as far as stores wise?
So we're in Total Wine here in South Carolina, all 5 of them, and then 4 other retail wine and spirit or liquor stores here in South Carolina, and then shipping direct to consumer online in now 38 markets. So shipping direct to the door. So you order online, which I may stop doing that in September because logistic wise things are just so delayed because I'm not the one packaging that. I could pack it myself. I would take those orders and stuff the boxes and have the kids but we shipping, but that's one of those things I don't have control over and I have to make peace with that. But that's okay because I'm looking for national distribution. So once I get a national distributor, then I don't have to worry about that. Then I just sell it wholesale and they do their thing.
For sure. How can we reach you? How can everybody reach you? How can they get Tipsy Lady? What's the best way?
tipsyladycocktails.com. And that's cocktails with an S. So tipsyladycocktails.com. And then you'll see this orange flashy button that says shop. You can click there. And then until the end of September, buy it online and have it shipped direct to your door.
That's it. Serial entrepreneur, Toni Gilliard, big time real estate agent, owner of Tipsy Lady here on the Road Live. Toni, we appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
It's definitely been a pleasure. You're a lot of fun. And till next time, we're going to be following you.
Okay. Thank you.
You got it.